Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to our parenting video series on making the most of summer. My name is John Eiselt, and I serve as our family and discipleship pastor. This is the fourth and final week of this series, and I don't know about you, but just today, there was a phrase uttered in our house that we are all familiar with. And more than the phrase, it's the feeling. And the feeling is that summer is already going by quickly. So we're just going to stop right there for a moment and have a quick reality check. Okay, we're only 3 weeks into summer, and there are 2 months and a week left before school starts. To be exact, there are 63 days left before school starts. But if you feel behind, you're not alone. We feel a little bit behind as well. But we're not going to let this summer slip away, and neither are you. And so here's something we're going to try in our family, and I encourage you to do the same. Number your days. Take a jar of 63 marbles or make a paper chain and number your days in a visual way. What we count matters, and the habit of counting each day will create urgency and priority as you make your plan. Don't turn this into something ugly or pressure-inducing, but rather use it as a tool to help you. As we dive into this fourth week, I want to give you a quick recap of where we've been so far. In week 1, we talked about screen time and managing access to the internet so that our kids can use it safely this summer and into the future. In week 2, we started talking about the 5 essential family rhythms, and we specifically looked at relationships and fun. In week 3, we looked at the rhythm of discipleship in our families and how we can put that into place this summer. And this week, we're going to look at the final 5 essential family rhythms. We're looking at the rhythm of work and the rhythm of rest. A rhythm of work in our families creates cooperation, team effort, and commitment to something greater than ourselves. Now, work for adults can oftentimes be a means to an end, and work for our kids and students can be the same. And while work is not meant to be an identity for us, it is something that gives us purpose when it's applied appropriately. For kids, students, and young adults, work helps them to experience being a part of something bigger than themselves, as well as the pride and joy of seeing something that they did serve something or someone outside of themselves and to make a difference in the process. Not only is there work to be done around all of our homes this summer, chances are your kids and students will have some idle time and when they can help out around the house, and it's a great way to help them create some rhythm to their days. Remember back in week 1 when we talked about managing screen time? Well, making a list of chores or work that they can do each day is a way to give them some things that they can do to add structure, accountability, and meaningful contribution to your family. We've attached a resource for you to use, and it's a chart that has a list of different types of work and tasks that kids and students can do according to age. Use this to develop a rhythm of work in your home this summer. And don't forget that this isn't just about getting stuff done around the house, and I would encourage you to not hold this over your kids' heads with authority, but rather approach this with an opportunity for collaboration. Consider asking them to make a list of what they see around the house that they could help with. This is an example of how to use relational influence instead of positional influence like we talked about in our relationship rhythm during week 2. Okay, now let's look at the other side of work, rest. Rhythms of rest in our families help us to restore, to reflect, and to refocus. Rest is not only physically necessary, it is spiritually necessary as well. In fact, if we're honest, rest and Sabbath in our lives is an area of our lives where we most often fall short of how God has called us and invited us to live. Rest helps us to recharge, and it also helps us to reflect and refocus to be sure we're headed in the direction we ought to go and not just in the direction that our schedules are leading us. It provides us the opportunity to be intentional about the commitments we make as a family. And it's okay for summer to be a busy season of activities, work, and vacation, especially this summer as we're able to get back to some of what we enjoy most about summer. A rhythm of rest isn't about just doing less. In fact, it's precisely what can equip you to do all the things you're hoping to do. Without a rhythm of rest, we run the risk of trusting ourselves to be headed in the right direction at all times. Rest allows for us to reflect and refocus our priorities as needed. Think about it like checking a compass or even like pulling in for a pit stop to refuel. Without a rhythm of rest, we run the risk of creating a pattern of hurry and anxiety in our homes. And beyond the mental health consequences of that, we might be missing out on the quality time and parenting moments that only we can provide for our families. So how do we create a rhythm of rest in our homes? First, Take a look at your calendar and take stock of your current family situation and season. Are you in a busy season, or has the busy season become the norm? And are there things that you keep wanting to get to that you can't get to? Talk with your spouse or a trusted friend about the pace of your life and see if they see any patterns in your life that they find concerning. Look to your kids and students as barometers for this as well. And I don't mean to keep going until something concerning happens. What I mean is that if our kids are struggling or maybe just don't seem to be their normal selves, stress and hurry can be a part of the cause. Take a long, hard look at how you're moving out of this past COVID season and into the current one. Keep in mind that creating a rhythm of rest in your family is not just doing less. Oftentimes, it's not actually doing less at all. It might mean adding something to help you find your rhythm. Here's a few examples that can help you create a rhythm of rest. First of all, make sure everyone is getting adequate and actual literal sleep. If screens and tech are an issue, create a screen-free time during each day or consider adding a Wi-Fi curfew in the evenings. Look to the week ahead and intentionally plan for when and how you're going to help your family to rest. Maybe you'll go for a walk or get ice cream together. Maybe it's a family movie night. Maybe it means rearranging your schedules to allow for a morning of downtime together. While rest can be actual and literal sleep, it also is just creating a rhythm of downtime together. It might be as simple as creating 15 minutes of silence in your home every evening. This time can be used to reflect on the day, to pray, or just allow the noise of busyness to be silenced. I used to take kids to camp every summer, and when we did, we always provided them 15 minutes during one evening to think about their week. And at the end of the week, that was their favorite portion of camp. In addition to these day-to-day methods of adding this rhythm of rest to our lives, look at your summer and think about what a family getaway could do for you in this rhythm of rest. Do you have a family vacation plan for this summer? Do you need one? It doesn't have to be a big, expensive getaway. And parents, sometimes the rest you need can't happen when your kids are around. You may need rest as a couple, and you may need rest on your own. And while you might feel like this is selfish, it's actually the opposite. You play such a critical role in your families that not taking care of yourselves doesn't help anyone. Now, I'm not suggesting that we all have time and capacity for a 3-day personal getaway or retreat. In fact, that's why we're talking about this as a rhythm. It's something that you need regularly, and the best way to do that is to make it a part of how you go through each day or week. Use the worksheet that you'll find in the resources to stop and think and make a plan for how you'll take steps to create this rhythm in your family this summer. You'll be surprised by the moments that you'll create when you take time to rest as a family. As we wrap up our time together over the last 4 weeks, we hope that this video series has been helpful for you, and we want to offer you a few things to keep in mind as you move forward. First, remember to create time to think about these rhythms and discuss them with your spouse and family. Second, use the tools and resources we've made available to you to make a plan and keep it really simple. Take baby steps to begin implementing new rhythms for your family. You can go back and rewatch the videos to help you as you do so. You'll find that all of the 5 family rhythms are meant to be in chorus and harmony together. As you make a plan, you'll find that each rhythm will help you to create one of the others and vice versa. But listen now, don't put a ton of pressure on yourself or on your family to do them all right away, because that will just be counterproductive. And finally, don't forget what this is all about. This is about making the most of your family time and parenting moments this summer. Thank you for joining us. We are praying for you as you go and as you make this a summer like no other.